Hello. In this video chapter, we will discuss how to program the Reach system. We will show you how to go from setting up the type of input you will use for the Reach, to adding the devices you want to control, and then how to program the codes for each device into the Reach. When you turn on the Reach for the first time, this is what you will see. This is the Reach wizard. The first thing you will see is the space for the menu name. This is the name you will call the menu structure you are about to build. Using the on-screen keyboard or a USB keyboard plugged into an available USB port, enter the name you want to call the menu. In our case, we'll call it New Menu. Since the Reach is a touch screen, you can use a stylus that is located on the bottom of the Reach unit to tap the buttons on the screen. Tap the next button to go to the next screen. The next screen of the Reach wizard shows 4 types of input that you can use on the Reach. You will always have the option of touchscreen no matter what type of input you choose. Voice activated, switch scanning, and head mouse adaptive mouse are available input types. We will stick with touchscreen to keep this setup simple. Tap the next button to go to the next screen. The next screen gives you the ability to choose the button size on the screen. For most people, you can use the standard button size. For those with low vision or muscle spasm problems, you will want to use the low vision button size. This gives you a larger button size than standard. Your button text will also be larger as well. Once you've chosen the size you want, tap the next button. This screen shows you all the devices you can control with the Reach. They are in descending order: bed control, telephone, CD player, blinds, clock radio, tape player, door opener, television, VCR, fan, stereo, cable, lights, DVD player, and satellite. You can change the amount of control options inside each. Right now we'll select television and lights and tap next. This screen tells you that you have finished collecting all the info it needs to configure a new menu for the Reach. When you tap finish, the Reach editor will start. This is where you will enter the infrared signals and X10 house codes into the individual devices. You will also be able to customize each device menu in the editor. Once the preliminary information has been gathered by the Reach Setup Wizard, the Reach Editor opens. This is where you will enter infrared remote signals and X10 house codes for each device you want to control. When the editor opens, you will see the main menu of the Reach. This is where the buttons for each device will be displayed. On the left side of the screen are the tools you can use to change the buttons, save your progress, and add or remove features. The editor starts in play mode. This means that any button pressed will perform the task it is assigned. You know you are in play mode when the gray button that looks like a play button on a CD player is highlighted on the toolbar on the left side of the screen. Pick the device you want to enter codes for, in our case television, by tapping on it with the stylus to enter the television menu. Once you're in the television menu, you will need to put the Reach editor in edit mode to make any changes. Click the button on the toolbar on the left side of the screen that looks like a crossed wrench and hammer to enter edit mode. Make sure you have your television remote handy and tap and hold the button on the Reach that you want to program. In this case, let's program the 1. When you hold down the 1 button, this menu pops up. This is where you can change any feature of a button. You can change the color of the button after you click it, the size, the transparency, the text label, the sound that plays when you click the button, the picture on the button, specific device menu selection, and the signal the button sends when clicked. At the bottom of the menu, you see a sample of what the button will look like when you change a feature. Since we want to add the infrared signal to the 1 button, click the Edit button next to IR Actions. This brings up the IR library. On the left, you see an entire list of devices you can add signals to, even ones that are not on your menu. Select the device you want to control by clicking the plus sign next to the device, in our case television, to open the list of commands available. Select the one from the list and the menu changes to this. To add an infrared signal, click Learn. Point your remote at the infrared emitter receiver and press the 1 button on the remote to send the signal to the reach. You will notice the signal quality and learning progress bars fill up and a series of numbers and letters appear at the bottom of the menu. This is the code itself. Once the code is in the reach, you can test it to see if the code went through by clicking Test Command and pointing the reach at the device you want to control. If it works, you have input the right signal. Close this menu and click OK on the previous button's setup menu. Be sure to save your work by clicking the green disk on the toolbar on the top left of the screen. Repeat these steps for each button in the menu and save your progress. To add an X10 signal to the reach, you will perform the same actions as before. In play mode, tap the Lights menu button, and when the menu changes, press the Edit mode button on the toolbar on the left of the screen. We want to set up the Lamp On button, so tap it and hold it until the button setup menu appears. Click Edit and open the Lighting Device menu on the list to the left. Select Lamp On and click the X10 button on the bottom right of the menu. This brings up the Build X10 command menu. In this menu, you will see pull-downs for the X10 house code, device code, and the command you want the device to perform. These values depend on the setup of your X10 network. I selected house code A, device code 1, and command on. Click OK to apply these settings to the lamp on button. You will notice that the X10A1 on shows up in the area where the infrared code normally shows. This means that the X10 command is set for this particular button. Close this menu and click OK on the button setup menu to set up this button for the X10 command. Repeat these steps for the lamp off button. This completes the setup to turn off and on a lamp. Configuring a reach system is very easy. The initial setup asks you for a name, what kind of input method you want, button size, and the types of devices you want to control. Once you have the initial setup done, the reach editor starts. This is where you will enter the infrared and X10 house codes. Once you have finished adding all the codes, be sure to save your progress by clicking the green floppy disk on the toolbar at the top left of the screen. Once you have saved your progress, you are done. Close the reach editor and restart the reach system. When the system finishes loading everything, you can start using the reach menu. If you need to modify anything, close the reach menu by clicking the exit button and double-clicking on the reach editor to start the editing process again. This is the last video chapter on the reach system. Thanks for watching.